What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. As of making this video, it is official that lucky Pokemon are live in Pokemon Go, with such great benefits as half of a Stardust to power up, or maybe half of the candy. You might be saying to yourself, well, what is going to be wrong with trading for lucky Pokemon? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because there is a catch. So the catch is going to be related to the trade mechanic itself. If you are a person, for instance, who values something like IVs, you might have been wondering to yourself, well, can you actually get higher IVs? A couple of weeks ago, I said this, and the max CP possible means that the range for the IVs can either stay the same or go down. That's all that can happen. It cannot go up when you are trading. And I will show you in another example later to just kind of prove that. And now I'm apologizing because turns out that is false, but I want to go ahead and briefly explain my case. When I first started doing this, the CP ranges were wrong when you were trading. You could actually trade above it, which means you could get higher IVs. You can actually get a 100% IV Pokemon. Now, Niantic went in and fixed the CP ranges, didn't tell anybody, but you can for sure now get it. Just like you could then, it just simply shows that you can do it. So beyond that, you might be saying, well, okay, so you can get high IVs out of this, why wouldn't you want to trade lucky Pokemon? And that's going to be related to the IV floor. As you can imagine, there are 4 different levels with the friendship level. And you might assume that by the time you get to the 4th level, that the IVs would probably go up to a guaranteed 10, 10, 10, something like that. But there was actually a glitch a couple of weeks ago that indicated that people, unfortunately, can only get a 555. What ended up happening was some people were showing as best friends even though they weren't, and then there was some research done behind it to find out that the floor was nowhere near where we thought it was going to be. So that is actually going to be the catch related to this. You can trade for lucky Pokemon, but you can't guarantee that they're going to get high IVs, and in turn, you're going to get this amazing Stardust discount, but it's not going to be a Pokemon necessarily that's worth powering up. So what can we do to counteract this? I actually have a strategy for trading for lucky Pokemon that I think is going to actually be fairly beneficial. So first off, the main point is going to be that you want to trade bad IV Pokemon for this, because what do you have to lose? They're more than likely taking up a place in your Pokédex, you're more than likely going to transfer it, and it at least has some type of fighting chance to get an IV upgrade when you trade it over to someone else. But when you're looking for a Pokemon, instead of thinking about really good Pokemon like, oh, there's a Tyranitar, oh, there's a Machamp, I would recommend you to start thinking about the lowest evolution of those Pokemon. Start thinking about Machoke, start thinking about Larvitar, because more than likely people are going to have that type of Pokemon. So as long as you have the candy and you can trade them, it's probably going to be worth it, and you're probably going to have like a bigger pool option of Pokemon to trade for, as opposed to saying, well, you know, I want to trade a Tyranitar for a Metagross. A lot of people won't be as keen to do that just because you can't even guarantee it'll be high IV. But if it's a lower level Pokemon, it's going to be such less risk on your behalf. So the next question you might be asking yourself is going to be in related to maybe legendary Pokemon, rare Pokemon, is it worth trading for? You have to decide, is the chance of getting a low IV Pokemon and having to spend a lot of Stardust to get it worth it to you, just to get a lucky Pokemon? Honestly, I'm gonna go with a no, unless we can confirm that the lucky Pokemon actually have a different IV flooring level than what just regular trades do. What I mean by that is, can we actually get higher IV Pokemon through lucky Pokemon? Because if that's the case, then they would definitely become more viable and what you would want to try to get. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too early, but PokemonGoHub.net is on the case, sending out some surveys to people, getting them to fill out information so that they can try to help us to let us know what this new IV flooring is going to be like. But like I said, until then, until I know that you can get higher IVs, at least through the lucky Pokemon, I'm not going to be trading something like a legendary. So when we talk about potential solutions to the trading system, and I honestly think the goal should be to get more organic trades happening, not by just instituting a new update that's going to basically get a ton of trades in and then probably fizzle out over time. I think that the one major update that needs to happen that's actually going to be the cleanest is in relation to trading legendary Pokemon. The fact that you can catch a legendary Pokemon at a 10-10-10 on the IVs of 67% or higher, and when you trade you can get something that drops below that, absolutely blows my mind. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be able to, trade at that bare minimum 67% and then move up from there. And then maybe by the time you make it to the 4th level, you can at least confirm it could be something like an 84%. That's just my own opinion. I just don't get why legendaries can drop below it, especially once again when you're having to spend a lot of Stardust on it. So I want to also go ahead and end on a cool tool that you can use for trading. Maybe you're a person in a location where you don't really talk to a lot of people in your community. You don't mind trading, but you're just not that type of person who wants to go around and ask every single person, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have that? Honestly, that can be a little bit annoying. So there is a website called PokédexTrader.com. And on this website, you can not only buy and sell Pokemon, which I know for some people is a big no-no, you can also put Pokemon on this website and then just list them up for free. So you can basically use this website as a Craigslist for facilitating trades. You can contact people, you can say, okay, yeah, I'm willing to trade this, what do you have in return? This is what I'm looking for, yeah, let's meet at this location, this time. And it could be something that's gonna be highly useful if you are into something like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and end on a question of the day. My question of the day is, what lucky Pokemon would you want in Pokemon Go if you could have any lucky Pokemon in the game? Of course, for me, it's probably going to be something like a Machamp. It's something that I know I would power up if I could confirm that I could get decent IVs, and having that discount on the Stardust is something that I know a lot of people are going to be excited about. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave. Triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave.